But right now, the D feature is ready to go, and we've got a bunch of guys here that have qualified not too well. They're going to have to work their way through the field. Roger Rager, Steve, is a veteran of this kind of racing. He's kind of on the comeback trail. You remember a few years back, he ran at Indianapolis with a stock block that was supposed to have come out of a bus. Remember that? Roger is a real colorful guy. He's had some problems over the recent years in getting up among the top runners in sprint car racing, but he's a very talented driver, and it'll be interesting to watch how he fares against these guys. As we said, these are some low-budget race drivers that maybe haven't got the experience or the budgets that some of the big-time race car teams have, like Swindell's, and as we watch the starter getting ready to go one more lap, these guys are hoping just to work their way up. The top two finishers will advance.
And for these guys, that would be a thrill, because the people of Knoxville definitely put on the #1 sprint car race of the year anywhere, and it's about to begin. 10 cars for 10 laps, and in outlaw fashion, I would imagine, Brock Yates, they'll start racing, about out of turn number 3. That's usually where they go hammer down.
That's it. Well, as they circle through turn number 3, you can hear the engines begin to roar. And if they come off turn 4, the hammer down, Doug Clark is thrown to green, and we've got a start.
And we've also got a spin towards the back of the pack. It's the 61A car of Bob Ayton. He has gone into a spin. He's back out on the racetrack. Let's see if that brings out the yellow. Yes, it will. They'll reform them.
So we'll have a restart here as Bob Ayton gets down out of the apron even before he crosses the starting line. Let's see exactly what happened to the Springfield, Missouri driver trying to get going here on the D feature, first race of the night.
And this is not at all unusual in the start of any outlaw race. Watch back in the 4th row. You'll see the 61A car of Bob Ayton. Now as we view from behind, you'll see another car come up and make contact with him. That was the 5T car of Todd Mack. Todd continued on his way, but for Ayton it was a little spin out into the mud that's accumulated from a lot of rain that has fallen the past few days. But there was no damage to the car, none we could see, and he is rejoined for the restart.
Right, so no damage, and Bob Ayton back in the field as everybody reforms, and of course not a lap completed yet. We've still got 10 to go as the field circulates around down into turn number 3, and I would imagine, Steve, they'll get a green as they come off turn 4.
Well, starter Doug Clark is eyeballing them, and yes, the green flag flies here in the D feature, the first race of the evening in the Coors Knoxville National.
And Bobby Hausman jumps off the outside of the front row to lead him down the back straightaway as Larry Hillerud in that 51L white car rides in second spot.
And a good battle shaping up for that second position, Brock. That is Hillerud, as you said, in the white car 51L, but young TJ Giddings, the yellow machine there, number 47. He told me earlier he was a little down on power and he was going to make up for it with aggressive driving, and he really is. And what a good racetrack this appears to be.
It's almost perfect, Steve. It's like a great big wet rug that give the race cars just perfect bite all the way around. Notice we're not throwing any mud, no dust. The race cars are going to work this racetrack in through the course of the night where it will become extremely fast.
Well, here's the race for 13th. Remember our friend Bob Ayton, the 61A red car? Well, he's back in that 13th position. Actually, he's at 14th, trying to get 13th from Dave Ecker in the 11E red, white, and blue car. So that spin really cost him a lot of positions on the restart.
Back to the leader, Bobby Hausman from right here in the Hawkeye state of Iowa down the road in Estherville leads it as he sweeps down through turns 3 and 4, and right on his tail is Larry Hillerud, but Larry doesn't seem to be able to make up any distance. There's TJ Giddings sitting back there in that 3rd spot. Giddings falling back a little bit with that handicap of horsepower. Steve, remember, most of these cars, except I think for one, carry Chevrolet engines, either iron block or custom aluminum blocks, and all fuel injected, running on alcohol, making about 700 horsepower, I'd say.
And they have tremendous torque out of the corners. There's no turbo lag with these machines. You step on the gas and it goes. And I tell you right now, well, there's a car with a Chrysler logo on the front wing, but we checked it's a Chevrolet sponsored by a Chrysler dealer. I don't know.
But anyway, they're about 410 cubic inches, small block Chevys punched out with stroker kits. And boy, as you say, are they bolts of dynamite on 4 wheels. They're rocket ships and very difficult to handle. But right now, TJ Giddings looks as if he's moving in a little bit on Hillerud.
Well, TJ is really going for it. And he has to. He's got to finish second or first if he's to transfer. And look at it. TJ Giddings all right alongside Larry Hillerud challenging for that second spot.
Well, Hillerud down low now. Giddings will try him up high probably, and then maybe dive down to the inside as I head down into turn number 3. Giddings, no, right in, tucked in behind. Now on the high side of Hillerud. Here goes Giddings, still trying him. Now they're moving up on Joe Kuba in that 55 car. He's a lap car. Let's see how Giddings and Hillerud work on the slower automobile, who could turn out to be kind of an obstacle course. There goes Giddings high. There's Hillerud in that 18 car. And Giddings is by him as they come into turn number 3.
That was a beautiful move by Giddings. With Hillerud backed up behind Kuba, he just made it all work for him. And now he's in a place to where he can transfer to the sea, but he's got to hang on to it. We are on the very last lap. So for T.J. Giddings, you know the man is just holding his breath, hoping to see that checkered flag. Here is the winner, that of Bobby Hausman in the 18B car. And how about it? T.J. Giddings, he said he was down on horsepower and was certainly not skilled. The 47 car will move ahead in the evening's activities. So, looking at the final results, Hausman and Giddings finished 1 and 2, and they'll move on to the C feature. Rounding out the top 5 are Hillerud, Profit, and Rager. Now let's go to Brock with Bobby Hausman.
So Bobby Hausman out of the 18 car transfers right off after that little restart, Bobby, and I just said goodbye to everybody. Got to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, the car's working pretty good. You know, we started on the pole. That helps quite a bit.
Sure does.
And track's pretty good. It acts like it's going to dry out, though. But
okay, now you're going to get ready to move into that next one. You going to make any changes on the car?
Oh, we might tighten it up a little bit. It might be getting a little dry out there. So we'll probably stay with the same gear and tire, but we might do a little bit with our wing.
Well, congratulations. Good victory.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You know, it seems appropriate that the biggest sprint car race of the year should have some of the most impressive souvenir stands around. Earlier, I took a look at what's available. There's as big a variety on Souvenir Row here at Knoxville as I have seen at just about any race. How about a frame picture of your favorite sprint car complete with a digital clock? Or if you only want to spend a couple of dollars, how about a picture key fob? Now, moving down a little bit, here is one of about a dozen trailers dispensing T-shirts and hats and various things you might expect. It's the variety that's so incredible. I lost count at about 50 different styles of T-shirts. And of course, as in so many sports, pens are very popular. And there appears to be one issued for just about every sprint car driver out there. And they're very reasonable. I just got an 87 Nationals pen for $3. Ha, you want to step up, huh? You want to really take home something special for yourself or that little boy of yours? Take a look at this. How about a quarter-scale sprint car? Now, these things run about 50 miles an hour. They have all the active suspension of a regular sprint car. In fact, yesterday in downtown Knoxville, they had the mini sprint car nationals. Now, you can have this very car, only been raced twice, never been wrecked, for $1,200. But you got to buy the radio stuff yourself.